So
Stanley
since
took the door on his left to go back to the meeting room.
can I go back
And so
there?
the
Should
two
I
of
go
them
back there?
detoured through
Because
the
it
maintenance
like
section
looped
and walked straight
into a
ahead to
different
the
office.
opposite
Normally that
door.
means we're in like a set of loops now. So if I go back, will it still be like...
Give the fans what they want. Hurry and...
Okay, so that didn't change anything. I don't know why it gives us a different office. And now we're back in our old office. I wonder why was it different that one time?
Had the bucket turned out to be correct? Wasn't it?
Yeah, so I'm gonna go back to where my capture hardware crashed and complete that, but also do it with the bucket.
Oh, never mind. The bucket was wrong. Stanley took the door on his left to go back to the meeting room.
No,
Said the bucket.
don't go to the meeting room. Go somewhere else. The cargo lift, yes. Go there. Go to the cargo lift. Good,
Said the bucket.
now ride the lift all the way to the top. There's something up there I need you to do.
Stanley did not question why or how this bucket was speaking to him. It should have alarmed him, of course, because buckets can't talk. But Stanley chose not to think about this obvious fact. He was firmly convinced that the bucket had spoken to him, and he unthinkingly did whatever the bucket asked.
Except I didn't write it all the way to the top.
No, stop. Look there on the wall. You see, there's a sign right there. It says, no buckets past this point. Stanley, how could you think it was okay to bring the bucket here? Unless, what if the problem is that you actually don't know what is a bucket and what isn't a bucket?
Well,
I suppose that would explain a lot about your behavior up to this point. Which, if that's true, well, my goodness, I think we have to do something about it. This misunderstanding could have dire consequences on the entire rest of the game if not addressed quickly and properly.
sure.
So much of the impact of the story is dependent on your understanding of what
Oh,
is
are we about to
and
watch another
isn't
training
a
video?
bucket. Please, step in here for a moment.
I don't really want to. Who's texting me at 7:42 in the morning? Yeah, I don't really want to go in there. Please don't be another training video. Oh my god. Is
Now
this
then,
a
I'm
bug?
going to run you through some test scenarios, and you'll tell me whether or not the thing I'm showing you is a bucket. Simple enough, right? This should tell us everything we'll ever need to know about what is or is not a bucket. Okay, let's begin.
Sure. Oh no, that music's way too intense.
Item 1. Is this a bucket?
No. That's clearly an imposter bucket.
Correct. It is a hologram of a bucket, not an actual bucket.
I knew it. Okay. Alright. Come on.
Item 2. Is this a bucket?
I can't actually... It looks three-dimensional for sure. But it doesn't look like the hole is wide enough. I'm gonna go with no, it's not.
Correct. It is a 3D printed recreation of a bucket, not an actual bucket.
I knew it. Whew, I trained for this. I was ready. Okay, come on. I got this one.
Item 3. Is this a bucket?
Okay. It looks anatomically correct. The handle seems off though. Like it seems bent. But I think that's because of general user wear and tear. I think it is a bucket.
Correct. This is a bucket.
Okay.
Item 4. Is this a bucket?
Oh, no question.
What? Are you hallucinating? This is a tractor. It's an enormous machine that tills the earth. I thought this was a gimmick. How on earth did you manage to screw it up? Absolutely incredible. Let's just move on to the next one.
No, you don't understand. From my perspective, that is a bucket. It depends on what your definition of a bucket is.
Is this a bucket? Correct. This is a bucket.
I told you.
Item 6. Is this a bucket?
It's an obvious fake.
Trick question. Both. Gotcha. Item... Wait, hold on. I can't find the next one. Let me see. Should be around here somewhere. Okay, you and I both know there isn't anything here. And I don't appreciate the implication that nothing is a bucket when we both clearly know that a bucket is something, and therefore nothing could possibly be something. Unless, in your twisted mind, have you somehow convinced yourself that a bucket is nothing? Answer me straight, Stanley. Do you believe that nothing is a bucket? You know what? I'm too confused to even sort it out. I've lost all sense of perspective. What is a bucket? What isn't a bucket? Mere moments ago I could answer these questions with confidence. And yet now I'm somewhat adrift. Do any of us know what a bucket is? Am I a bucket? Stanley, I can't keep doing this. I'm losing myself, and myself was all I ever had to begin with. I'm afraid the bucket is threatening to tear our relationship apart. I can't have that. I'm sorry. But I'm going to erase all buckets from the game entirely.
Okay.
Okay. Here we go. What happened? Is everything gone? Why did everything disappear? Wait, was everything a bucket? Every single thing in the game was a bucket? Oh my God, I had no idea. How could... Except me. I'm not a bucket after all. And you, Stanley, you're still here. You're not a bucket either. Oh, this is wonderful news. We're not buckets. Yes, I actually feel much more at ease right now. It's delightful to get some clarity on that issue, but it doesn't change the fact that we haven't got a game. So, tell you what, I'll reset everything and we'll put back all of the buckets, okay? And we'll know that it's all a bucket. But if you run into anyone else, maybe don't mention that. Who knows what that information might do to a person?
That's true.
All right, here we go. Coming to a staircase, Stanley and the bucket walked upstairs to the boss's office. Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. But Stanley guessed the correct code by sheer luck. Was it that the bucket knew all along? Was the bucket guiding him? Yes, this is certainly the most logical explanation.
I think that's fair. There's one other thing I want to try before I stop recording for now, and I think you
The elevator
guys
raced downward,
have no idea what's
plummeting
about to
towards
happen.
an unknown fate. It would be all Stanley could do to keep himself together, if not for the bucket. Soothing him, comforting him, reassuring that in this darkest moment of uncertainty, he would be all right. The bucket is here for you, Stanley. Everything will be fine.
I think you're right. Everything will be fine.
Wait, Stanley said to the bucket. Can we go back up? When I was pressing those keypad buttons, there was something very intriguing about the number 3. I want to go back so I can try pressing the number 3 again. The bucket said nothing.
Don't worry, Bucket. You'll understand.
Here we are, said Stanley. Now I'm going to try out that number 3 button. He took the bucket over to the keypad and began absolutely slamming on the number 3 over and over and over. "Well," he said, "the number 3 is such a special button. I'm having the time of my life." Stanley looked expectantly at the bucket, but the bucket remained silent. This was a shock to Stanley, who had always felt such a connection with the bucket. How was this not as exciting to the bucket as it was to him? Once Stanley had had enough of the number 3, he got back in the elevator.
Ah, well, it was fun while it lasted.
Perhaps the bucket had missed something. Perhaps it had not seen how much joy Stanley got from slamming the number 3 repeatedly. A hint of regret nagged in the back of Stanley's mind. Should he demonstrate the number 3 for the bucket again?
Yes, I think you should.
No, said Stanley to the bucket. "You can't go on yet. Not till you understand how much the number 3 means to me. You and I have been through so much together, and I just want you to see what I see. Feel the happiness I feel." He smiled at the bucket, and the bucket said nothing.
Why is the bucket acting so stone cold to me all of a sudden? We've been through so much at this point. The amount of endings you have changed.
"Here we go," said Stanley. "This time I'll really show you." He ran to the number 3 and began to wail on it like a musician on a beloved instrument, weaving a concerto of truth and passion. He wielded the number 3 like a fine artist would wield a paintbrush. He told stories through the number 3, stories of his dreams and hopes and fears. And the whole time, he looked to his bucket for a reaction of some kind. Anything to let him know that the bucket appreciated what he was doing. The bucket conveyed absolutely nothing at all, only silence. Crushed by a wave of dejection, Stanley returned to the elevator.
Man, Bucket, I was thinking you and I would see eye to eye on this.
Stanley and the bucket were so close. They'd always been there for one another. Why suddenly could the bucket not connect with this passion of Stanley's? The question caused Stanley to ruminate the whole way down the elevator. He knew that there must be a way to get through to the bucket, to communicate fully with his dear friend. Surely there was a solution, mustn't there be? Stanley and the bucket walked straight ahead through the large door that read, "Mind Control Facility."
Going back up.
Said Stanley. "I know what to do. I know how to fully express this feeling in my heart." He decided right then and there that he would hold a press conference where he would speak to the public on all matters relating to pressing the number 3 over and over. He would elaborate fully on what the number 3 meant to him and why he felt so alive when pressing it. Then the bucket would be able to see his joy through the eyes of others. It would get to see the world react to this discovery of Stanley's. And it would be through the public eye that the bucket would finally understand Stanley's work.
All right.
For months, he advertised and marketed his press conference, building excitement around it, developing and rehearsing it, until it couldn't be refined a single measure further. When the big day arrived, Stanley was as prepared as he'd ever been for anything in his life. This was it. One last chance to win the bucket over. One opportunity to share a true connection with a loved one. There was no one here. Nobody had come to the press conference to hear Stanley speak, to listen to him talk about what it really means to press the number 3 on a keypad over and over. He was unloved, uninteresting. He was a failure. And in that moment, Stanley knew that the bucket would never again take him seriously. There would be no connection, no deeper understanding. The bucket merely sat there in his arms, indifferent. And so it began that slowly, over many years, the two of them grew more and more distant. They spoke less and less, neither wishing to state the obvious, that any sense of real respect between them had eroded since that day at the press conference. There would be no more games, no more long conversations about passion and pursuit, only a silence that consumed the space between friends. And Stanley, having for once in his life discovered the warmth and comfort of true companionship, was cast back into the unremarkable normalcy of loneliness.
That's the end? Okay.
Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his chest and entered the door on his left.
So I had a lot of fun playing this game. I've been recording for about 3 hours, a little over that. Been a ton of fun. Really enjoyed it. Thanks for sticking through this new format that I'm going to use. It's not like a permanent thing I'm going to do. I just think it kind of better suits this kind of game. But yeah, I think I'm going to leave it here for now. I would probably not record anymore unless I'm asked to. I had a lot of fun playing this game. I'm just talking in circles now. Yeah, I probably wouldn't record any more of this unless I was asked to. I kind of don't want to get all the endings on video. I feel like there's definitely like some enjoyment to be had from everybody who would play this game. So I feel like people should be able to go and experience this for themselves and find new areas of the game that they didn't see before. So definitely check this out if you can. It's on all platforms now, I think. So it's definitely worth, I think it was like $25. It's a lot of fun. A lot of interesting commentary on gameplay and video games just in general and just how that market works. So yeah, really, really cool. It's also fun to just see like how the game kind of goes in on itself.
Stanley just stood there doing nothing at all. He seems to think I have nothing better to do with my time than to sit around and describe every fascinating little detail of his inability to do anything. This is why Stanley and I are on such good terms.
Great. But anyways, thank you guys so much for watching. And again, if you want to see more of this, I'd be willing to record more of it if I have enough people ask for it. But yeah, if not, go check it out for yourself. I don't really usually do an outro for my videos. It's just kind of like I end on whatever the funniest thing was. So I guess I should figure out something funny to do.